welcome you to the C&C Auto Show. You jump in, buckle up, and hold on. I'm Aaron Clements here with co-host James Pate, and we both are here to share information on how to keep your car safe, dependable, and long-lasting. And I might add, because of this show, clean.
That's right.
We are live at the C&C Auto Show Studios, which is located on top of a fully functioning 40-bay automotive repair facility right here in Augusta, Georgia. And we're here to share your automotive information and questions. We're here to look for your automotive questions, but during today's show, we're looking for a question answered. And we're hoping everyone out there will help us answer this question because it's kind of huge and it's something that's been bothering me a long time. And the question is, which one is better, the automatic car wash or the hand car wash? Now, I'm going to tell you in advance that James over here, he is a little bit biased on the hand wash.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on.
I already know that, and I realize it. Now, here, and I know that he is going to be pushing listeners. I'm going to jump. Yeah, you are.
No.
Yeah, I know you are. There's no doubt.
We're going to draw listeners to the light.
Draw them to the, well, I know you're going to be
pushing.
trying to move them in the direction better.
And that doesn't. And now, does there a possibility that you have a counter position that you are equally attached to? Could that be?
Here's the deal. Now I'm gonna go ahead and tell you where I'm at.
It's a deal. All right.
I have done secret research on this subject, and I'm going to tell you, I have critical information to show you during this time. And also, I got some witnesses that I can bring forward and put on the stand if I need to.
That means I have the equal time to bring some witnesses that might be very close by to us right now, if need be.
All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say in advance that there's no doubt that you do a fantastic hand car wash job. I've seen it with cars that we had. You just unbelievable. But I'm saying on average that the automated car washes outweigh the benefits of a hand wash.
And I have to suggest, therefore, that I have a greater confidence in the average abilities of our brothers and sisters in the automobile driving world. All right? I'm not selling the people short here.
I can tell now this is going to get a little tough. We want everyone to call in. Now, also call in and ask your automotive questions because we're here for those automotive questions. But I need some support. I need some people to call in and stand by me that the automated car wash.
Secret research and witnesses. You still need more?
I do. I'm going. I need all I can get. I would love for anyone.
And you have
who's
all
on
this technology here. I don't know how I'm going to hold up.
Well, I know how much you do research. You research everything, and there's no doubt in my mind that you're gonna have a few rabbits to pull out of the hat. So what we're saying is give us a call, and that number is 800-224-9090. Ask your automotive question, but also if you're on my side and say that automatic car washes has a lot more benefits than the hand wash, I want you to give us a call. Now,
and just remember, you're not only voting for one style or the other. I think you want to talk about outcome. What's the better outcome?
The outcome. Okay, well, I'll go with that.
All right.
I'll go with that. Hey, let's go to the first call?
Let's lock and load.
Okay, here we go. And let's see here. I'm not sure this is okay. Yeah. I'm going to just go there and we'll just ask the person their name. Good morning and welcome to the C&C Auto Show. And what can we help you with?
I'm going to weigh in on the auto or the hand wash.
Oh, the hand wash.
This is Billy.
All right. Now,
isn't it?
Yep.
All right.
Now, Billy, what is the reasoning behind you preferring the hand wash?
I prefer the hand wash because, you also get it detailed inside and cleaned up, and it's such a better job. Now, I do my own, but I know they do you can get it washed and use the vacuum cleaner and all at their place. But when I do it, I can get to places that machine don't get to.
Okay.
Up in the fender wells and stuff like that.
So in short, you do something that you show the car some love.
I love it. I love the car. I do.
All right,
I love it.
I'm gonna throw a scenario at that. See, what I'm gonna do is I have a defense for almost anything that everybody's gonna come up with.
The devil does need an advocate, I suppose.
So the car, if there's a problem with
ahead.
anything I'm saying now, I want you to come back and say, Aaron, I also don't believe I don't take it to the automatic car wash because of this, that, or the other. Just name the items. But the first thing I'm gonna mention is what would be wrong with you having a little small basket in your trunk with all these little fun things that you do, this special fiber rag and this little brush that you get to this one little place, a little thing, and you be able to go up there, shoot that car through that wash, get it all cleaned up, and come back and pull it around, and as you're vacuuming out, show it some love.
Well, if I'm going to do the work, I might as well wash the car, because washing the car ain't that hard. It's all the detail stuff you got to do to make the car look right.
And let's say, for example, Billy, I don't know where you live, but for me to go to the nearest credible automatic car wash, by the time I get in my car, I drive up there and, as Aaron phrased it, shoot through there if there's no one in front of you. I still got to drive home. So by the time that's all done, and I have my little bag of goodies with me at home already, it's the same amount of time.
Well,
you could have done it at the house. Now wait a minute, Aaron. Aaron, you got a Miata convertible. You telling me you run that through the automatic wash?
No, I sold. Well, I did when I had it. I did take it through there, but I sold the little Miata. Now I got a little BMW Z3, and it's a convertible, and I do take it through the car wash. I promise you. Matter of fact, I think it was last weekend I went through the car wash, and absolutely fine. Now, here's why. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump in. I'm going to go ahead and bring some of the stuff out here in the open.
You got your seatbelt on, Billy? Here he comes.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody used to, and what you're saying is right. At one time, taking the car through an automatic car wash could cause some problems. But I'm telling you, technology has done some amazing things with car washes. I'm going to tell you, the spinning brushes that used to hit your mirrors and cause this damage, and hit a top and cause damage, and this, that, and the other. Don't do it anymore. These brushes are regulated. They're special brushes. Now, to start with, the brushes are made out of a special neoprene that is almost the same type deal that a scuba diver skin suit's made out of, only perfected for the car wash industry. And then they're regulated to where as they spin, they only put 10 psi pressure on the car, so they don't do damage anymore. If you'll look, I don't even see my mirrors fluttered anymore like I used to. Now, years ago, you and Jim were right. It's true that a automated car wash could do damage. They were pretty much using weed eater wire on those things. They were. I'm not exaggerating. It was pretty much weed eater wire. Now, with the neoprene brushes, they don't hold dirt on them any longer either. You can throw a bucket of mud on them, and after the car goes through, water washes it, and it comes right off, so there's no debris stuck to these brushes when it goes. Now, here's the kicker. I'll cover. I tell you what, I'm going to give you the kicker when we get back. Can you hold on just a second, Billy?
Sure, absolutely.
He's on a roll.
Yeah, I'm on a roll. I'm going to finish this out as soon as we get back.
I still got another question, though, on that, so go ahead.
All right, and I'm going to sway you over to my side. Okay, we will be back with more on the C&C Auto Show. We're back with you with the C&C Auto Show. When we pulled over to the side of the road a minute ago, we were talking to Billy, and Billy was pro hand wash. He was actually, at the time, he was on James's side, and I have been giving him all the information. I talked about the special material that these
it's like drinking from
brushes are made out of. And neoprene, scuba diver suits are used. Mud don't retain on there. Sand don't retain. They're washed after it goes through. Now, here's the other part.
Well, there's more. If you order now, we'll throw in.
I did a little research on this myself, and here's the deal. I had a gentleman come by. I'll go ahead and mention his name because he's not a whistleblower. His name is Lee Richardson, Sparkle Car Wash. I called him. He come by here, and he said, Aaron, I got to show you something. Live on his phone, he was able to bring up one of the washes, Sparkle Car Wash in Augusta. He was able to show a computer printing a diagram of this car. It uses sonar to measure the distance of where the mirrors are. Then it uses photo cells to map out the car. It measures the length of the car. It measures brush guards. And live in front of me on his phone, you could see two cars going through the washes. You could even, it had mapped out the trailer hitch on one and a brush guard on another. As the two were going through this wash, I was sitting there watching it live.
All right, now Billy, think about it. When you walk up to that car, you got two things in your head. They're called eyeballs.
Right.
You sonar that car instantly yourself. Been doing it for decades.
That's right.
But when you go
and washing outside of it, washing outside of it, you ain't done but half the car.
Yep. And when
you still got the inside to do.
And when you wash that,
you know what I mean?
Okay, now
hold on.
Okay.
Now, when you wash that car, Billy, you go across the top of it in the summertime. You wash it. You see what's up there. You're looking for any special spots. You see something needs a little extra attention. You slow down. If it's not anything extra, you keep going. But you get down to the bottom of the car. Oh, there's a little bit of grease that come up from the back of a tractor trailer that kicks up on the side of your car. You got to treat that differently.
That's right.
No sonar is going to pick that up. That brush goes by the same speed, the same pressure, regardless of the obvious and consistently varying needs of attention that your car needs and gets with that hand wash that you're doing.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Billy. We both have gave our points now, and now it's going to be up to you to make a decision on which way to go. So,
well, Aaron's wrong. Aaron's wrong because I can tell you that I've been through the washes. I've been through them, and I've had spots that it's missed, and I had to go home and do it anyway. Right. But you got to clean the inside the glass. You got to wipe down the leather. You got to clean the vents with the Q-tips. When you get in my car, I want it to look like the day it come off the showroom floor. And Sparkle is not going to do that.
Okay, now, Billy, I'm gonna go ahead and ask before I go now. Just roughly, if you doing all that to your car, roughly how much time do you normally spend doing your car when you're doing a wash and you're doing all the things that you're talking about?
3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours.
All right. So
he's doing a lot.
So James, you're gonna tell me that a person, if they to find a car wash, they're going to have to park and drive for 2 hours
find the
car wash.
I'm not going to tell you that at all.
And then so that they can run through there.
See, well, first off,
look.
Billy, we're not going to let him get away with that.
Oh, Billy, it's too late, man. You done said it.
That's right. Billy already laid down.
Yeah.
Billy threw down.
No, look, if I wanted to look pretty on the outside, I can run it through there. But you know what? You got to make the whole car clean. If you're going to love the car, love the car.
All right. Hey, Billy, we're going to let you go.
Right.
We're going to go to the next caller, and thank you for the input.
Yeah. Thanks for the right
Thank
answer.
you, guys.
All right, buddy.
You're right. There you go. Thank you.
All right.
All day long.
Okay. I may not have won him over yet, but I got to admit I made some good points. You ready to go to the next caller?
Sure.
Okay. Maybe this one will either have a car question or be on my side, one of the two. Okay. Here we go.
Here's the third possibility.
All right, and welcome to the C&C Auto Show, and what can we help you with?
Hi, good morning. My name is Daryl. I have a issue with a 2015 Nissan Juke that it loses power when I'm going up hills, and it's throwing a P0302 code. I've changed out the coil pack, all the plugs, and I've changed out the fuel injector on that cylinder as well. And I'm just trying to find out where I can go next because the problem isn't getting any better.
Okay. First, I'm going to mention that that fuel injector, I don't think that's was a very difficult fuel injector to change, if I'm not mistaken. on that model. So in some cases, if it's easier just to change one, like if you got a cylinder misfiring and you feel like that it is most likely it, you may decide to just change it. But many times if we got one cylinder set in a code, in many cases we'll just change the spark plug over to another one to ensure it's not a spark plug. And if the code is still there, or it's still showing misfire codes on that cylinder, then we'll go ahead and change over, either replace the injector or swap the injector. So I just want to mention that in the beginning.
So I see it mentioned, and I think I heard loss of power. Do you actually have a misfire? Is that what that code is?
Well, I think what he's doing, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're going into a low power mode. Is that correct?
It doesn't seem to be going into a low power mode, but like if I'm going up a hill, it just is. If I press on the gas too hard, it revs really high, and it will not. It just steadily loses down. It'll hit about 40 miles per hour.
So the engine speed rises, but the traveling speed of the vehicle decreases?
Yeah. What you're pointing toward is a transmission issue, that if the engine is revving up, does it feel like it's changing the gears properly as you're driving?
It does feel like that, yeah. It's one of the CVT
Right.
transmissions. So.
Mm-hmm.
So the engine, is it smooth, or as Aaron was indicating before, do you have actually a poorly running engine? Is it missing or bucking or kicking, or is it just higher RPMs and loss of vehicle speed?
It's doing all that.
So
it does better.
Oh, okay.
If I put it in sports mode, it doesn't buck as much, but it does do all that.
Okay.
Okay, so you do have a misfire type situation there. Not sure why you're saying the RPMs are going up usually on a situation like
maybe,
that.
Maybe it's doing that because it's not got the power.
Yeah.
But is your check engine light flashing? Oh, speaking of flashing, we got to pull to the side.
Yeah,
for a second.
we do.
Don't go away.
Hey, hold on. We're going to be right back, and we will have some solutions.
That's right.
All right. Be right back with more of the C&C Auto Show. Here with the C&C Auto Show, we want to answer your car questions, and we want you to answer one of our questions. Is the automatic car wash best, or is the hand car wash best? Ask your questions or share your opinion by giving us a call, 800-224-9090. You can also watch us live on Facebook, YouTube, or at ccautoshow.com. And we were over here talking about a 2015 Nissan Cube, and I think that we had a couple of questions that we wanted to confirm with you about the Nissan Cube. What was the code again? And did you say you had replaced all the coils and all the plugs?
Yes, sir. It's actually a Nissan Juke, but I have replaced. I replaced the offending coil on the second cylinder.
The offending coil, I love it. Okay.
I have replaced all the plugs, and I have replaced 2 of the injectors.
Okay. All right. Now, Jim had a point.
And one question, is this malfunction intermittent or constant at all times?
It's constant at all times. I have my check engine light does flash when it's bucking and doing all the other things that it does.
Okay. So how does the car, like if you was to pull up and the car was idling, does it idle reasonably smooth, or can you feel something misfiring as you're just sitting still?
It does idle rough.
Okay. All right. What I'm going to recommend doing on this vehicle as the next step, it's going to be to run a compression test. Now, I'm hoping everything's okay on the compression test because, of course, that's leading into larger things. But it's better to know one way or the other. And it's just the next step in the process of finding out what's going on. So I would pull all of the spark plugs out, run a compression test on each cylinder, make sure they're within 10% of each other. And if they are, when you go back in, you may even decide to move that coil to a different area. I have seen times to where the computer may say, hey, I'm having trouble with number 2, and it end up being a problem with another one, with a different cylinder, and then you want to confirm which cylinder. If it's idle and rough, one cylinder is not firing correctly. Yeah. So you want to find a way to kill each cylinder until you find which cylinder is the offender.
and now the injector, again, Aaron's the automotive expert. I tinker around with stuff. But on my car, I had a problem like that once. Totally different car. And if you've got you could still have a problem with the electronic circuit that feeds both the injector and the coil. Mm-hmm. The injector, you can actually listen, again, on my car, you can hear them click when they're performing each time they inject. You can listen for that to see if your injector, brand new or not, good or not, you could have a problem with wiring to that. Same thing with the coil, power to the coil.
Now you could, and if you can't hear it very well, you can get a regular technician stethoscope and touch the little rod onto the injector and tell. Now I've always held off on touching the coil with that thing because just in case something goes wrong, I don't want about 80,000 volts shooting up into my ears. But with the injector you can, and in some cases I have seen people disconnect the coil to tell if that coil is firing or not firing. We use electronic power probes and things like that. Now I'm gonna discourage you from, unless you got wiring diagrams, a special probe, from doing things like that, because you can touch certain things on the car with certain instruments and mess up very valuable computers. So I want you to go to a area that you won't cause damage, but you may fix it. So start with the part having to do with the compression test, and then move on to do the things that Jim talked about as far as listening to the injectors and trace down for sure what cylinder. Now, I'm also encourage you to do one other thing, and I try not to mention this real often because it sounds like I'm kind of passing the buck a little bit, but once you get to a certain point, don't just spend money when you're not sure of stuff, because you may reach a point to where you may have to have some diagnostics run, not because of it's things that you wouldn't be able to do, but it might be things that you may not have the equipment or the information needed to do. And I don't want you to go spending a huge amount of money on something that there's no way that you're going to be able to tell what it is without equipment. Okay?
Right.
Fantastic call, and we appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Oh, we thank you. Okay, the number to call is 800-224-9090. And we are asking the question, which is better, automated car washes or hand car washes? I believe the first caller was a little bit more on James's side.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I think once he sits down and thinks about it a little bit,
he'll be convinced he was right.
He's going to call back and say, Aaron, I understand everything you said, and you're right. Okay, let's go over to our next caller. Let's go over to Teresa. Hey, Teresa, welcome to the C&C Auto Show.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good.
I wanted to give my vote on the car wash.
Oh, I
paid a local... What?
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right. I paid a local car wash. I won't say the name because I don't want to embarrass anybody after the few statements that you've made. But I paid a local car wash a lot of money to automatically wash my car. Uh-huh. And when I pulled around to use the vacuum, I ended up having to scrub the roof of my car and the skirt underneath the driver and passenger doors with their window cleaner just to get it clean, because it was not at all. So I prefer hand washing.
All right. Now, that is a great tip, because this is something that I wanted to make sure that I mentioned. When I'm talking about that I prefer or I enjoy, and I feel like there's a great place for it, an automatic car wash, I don't mean just any automatic car wash. I don't mind telling you, I've tried those little things that you see at some of the stations to where you pull in and drive through and the water squirts on you. And I think that I get no success whatsoever. I'm talking about a good modern automated car wash, and I can tell you that a good automated car wash, it's doubtful that that's going to happen. So I don't know which one you went to, but I can tell you there are good car washes out there.
It's a relatively new one on Bel Air Road that is a really nice car wash. Again, I'm not going to mention the name, but
wow,
you've already mentioned it today.
Okay, all right, and we're open here now. I'm telling you that I'm wide open because I don't have any special agenda here. So you're talking that you took the Sparkle car wash, and when it went through the car wash, you got it out, and you could still see some places on the side on there that it didn't attack. Or it didn't get. Is that right?
That it did not attack. Yeah, the entire roof was still a mess. Now, granted, I will have to admit, it was probably like mold and tree sap. But, yeah, I literally had to scrub the roof of the car with Windex.
Yeah.
And then the skirt just underneath both doors, it was still black. I had to completely scrub those two.
Okay. So it sounds like you had a vehicle that had been sitting under like a tree or out in a period of time, or I'll just say hadn't been washed in a little while.
It needed that varying degree of attention that a hand car wash can provide.
Oh, well, that's exactly right.
Would you mind if we put you on hold and we're going to come right back and James and I both will weigh in on it.
We're going to arm wrestle over it.
Yeah, we will.
No problem.
We're going to have a big talk about this during the break. We'll be right back. We're back with you with the C&C Auto Show. I'm here with James Pate, and we are trying to find out which one is better, the automated car wash or the hand car wash. And I lean toward the automated car wash. James leans toward the hand car wash. And this is kind of tough. Do what now?
Bending over backwards for it, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. But I guess we're going to have to say that it sounds like Teresa is looking is saying that she likes the hand car wash because of an experience that she had. Now, Teresa, I'm going to mention that if you've got a car.
Sure.
Do what now?
I said sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Now, if you've got a car that has an extra amount of dirt on there that has either from a tree that you've parked on, or if you've got any specialty type deal on a car that needs special attention, you're right. You either need to at that car wash or at a hand car wash that you go to, you need to let them know, hey, this car has this over here, it has a spot up here, and it needs some special attention. But a regular car, I'm saying that I feel very good about taking through an automated car wash because it gets all the normal stuff off, the normal dust, dirt, pollen, acid, rain, it's things off of a car, but it's really not designed to do what you asked that car wash to do.
But at the same time, at the exit end of the car wash, automatic, there should be somebody there besides Teresa that gives it the once over. The manual sonar goes into effect and says, hey, wait a minute, we need to bring this back around because we missed 25% of the car's soil, even though it may be, well, it's not as abnormal as one might think, but it's still there. And that way, she doesn't have to do it.
Well, what a person is doing when they're going into the car wash, they're purchasing this ride through this thing with the sonar. It's got the automatic. It's got the beautifully designed brushes. It's got all the electronics. And Teresa, on top of that, it's a darn light show when you go through there. A lot of them now. You get all these multi lights and all of this stuff going on. But it goes through and it does what it does. It's kind of like if you were buying if you were buying a basic truck with no electric windows, no electric things and things like that, but you get through and you say, well, this was supposed to do this, do a lot more than it's doing. The automatic car wash is designed to do a good cleaning on even modern cars, a modern car wash designed to do a really good wash job on modern cars for a normal amount of dirt. But of course, there's in other words, if you got a big dent in the fender, you're not going to ride through there and the dent be repaired. It's not going to do it.
Well, of course, that's not
Right, and
it's
I
not a
can
body
agree
shop.
with both your points on that issue. It would be nice if there was somebody there to go, hey, wait a minute, and it would be nice, to know beforehand that my car was that bad off. But you don't really know that until after it's happened. So you're kind of standing there going, okay, I paid $15, and if I'd known beforehand, I'd have paid $20. But gosh, I don't want to go through a second time and find out that it still needs to be scrubbed.
Yeah.
So
But
it's a hard choice because I don't want to spend 3 hours on my car, but I still prefer the hand dry.
And probably, I don't know the folks that you're talking about, but the man's obviously a gentleman, I guess it sounded like, is passionate about his business. I'm willing to bet that if you had said, my goodness, to someone, look at my roof still.
Yep.
If local business, they probably would have said, oh, okay, we're going to do something a little different here because you want your car washed all over, and they probably would have helped you out and taken care of it.
You
for
took the words out of my mouth.
But
What they'd have
that's where you
done.
that's where the personal hand touch
there
comes
was
in.
a teenage kid there, but he was a teenage kid, and he really didn't know what to do.
Okay.
Here's what they would have done.
He made a comment about.
To Rich, this is my
Go ahead.
guess. They got this spray that they put that provides extra cleaning when you're going into the car wash. And I'm going to tell you, I hadn't been to the one you're talking about, but many of the car washes now have cameras that the car drives through that takes pictures of every item on the car before you even go in the car wash. But what they do is they know that many times the rear of a vehicle that picks up a lot of stuff, it needs a little extra touch. Some places on the front need an extra touch because of bugs. And before you go in, they give it a little spray right there and take that brush and rub it around. They take the rear and rub it around. What my guess is that person would have probably said, hey, if you pull it around here, I'll go ahead and put some of that on the whole car, and we'll run it back through there. High probability it may not have got it all out, but it would have been a lot more the second time.
And also, the gentleman, if he's like Aaron with his business, might even be listening to this show. He is hoping you come back and say, hey, I'm the lady that was on that radio show. He's going to be happy. I'm so glad you came in. I want to make this right for you. And then from then on,
Well,
they'll look at it before they go in. I bet.
I'm not the kind of person. I'm not the kind of person to do that, but I'm not going to say that I'm never
well,
going to go back because that's not true. I know I will.
Teresa,
but here's the point. The saying goes like this. If you're satisfied with the service, tell a friend. If you're not, tell us. They probably want to hear from you.
Yeah.
But Teresa, you're a business
I'm sure,
person, a good business owner's worst nightmare. You're the person that has a problem and never comes back and tells them, that's bad. We don't want that. I want people to come back. If they're not happy with us, I want them to. I would much rather them come back and say, Aaron, this is what's wrong. Can you make it right? Instead of coming back, never coming back and even letting us know we got a
But tell them
problem.
all your friends.
Yeah, exactly. So I
Yeah,
would. I
well,
tell you
as-
what, we're
as
gonna
you
get
said-
Lee on the line. He's gonna be calling up during the second hour, and they are. He's the operations manager of Sparkle, and
He's got you bringing in backup.
That's right. I'm gonna bring in
I
an
guess
eyewitness.
when you're in a how shall we say an inferior position, I guess you need all the help you can get.
Yeah. But we appreciate this. This is really good because I'm gonna win you over. I'm gonna make you say yes.
Okay.
I love automated car wash.
It might take as long as washing it yourself,
That's
but he was going to spend that time on it, won't
So
you?
you listen to our second hour.
If you
I
can
sure
stand
will.
it, okay.
All right. Hey, thank you.
You're a
I
good
know I
sport,
love
Teresa.
listening
Thanks.
to you guys.
Well, we thank you
you.
for calling.
Bye-bye.
And I want to, before we go to the next caller, I want to mention something about an email that we got that I thought was pretty neat. Actually, it wasn't an email. This was a call. A person called, and they said it was Rena, actually. And she, when she called me, she mentioned that a cover had fell off the headlight. Now, this is one of those little plastic covers fell off the headlight of her 98 Cadillac DeVille, and she asked if we could put it back on. Well, that cover is actually the assembly. I've seen people try to glue them back on, but it don't hold. There's nothing you can do. It comes in an assembly. So as I was talking to her about what she needed, it already popped into my mind what part I was going to look for, because Dorman Products makes those. And I knew that I would be able to find it because Dorman Products, they make it for almost any car you can think of. So I called, and sure enough, they said, yes, you can get the headlight assembly. They gave me a price. I called her back. I gave her a price on the part and putting the part in. And I said I can have the part. Oh, normally it would be overnight, but that was Friday. So I called her back, and she said, yeah, go ahead and get the part. So the part's ordered. She's going to be in on Monday morning. We're going to put the part on and take care of her problems. She's going to be very happy. That's why I love Dorman Products, because with Dorman, I can keep our wonderful customers happy, and that's what I like.
Good. Yep.
Okay.
Good
You ready to go to
success.
the call?
Yes, let's see what we got. A
Okay.
little bit of time in this hour, so we'll
Okay.
get started at least.
Wow. We're going to have to lock this one down.
That's right. So,
Hello and welcome to the C&C Auto Show. Ron, we got about a minute, but we would love for you to give us your opinion.
Real quick, hand wash is definitely better because I don't trust these car washes with their brushes. No matter how soft that brush is, my opinion, they can still leave real fine hairline scratches in your paint, especially on a darker color. That's just my opinion, but I feel like a person that takes pride in their vehicle, they want it to be the best they can make it. And I think hand washing is much better.
Oh, now this is an awesome call, and I appreciate it. And during the second half, I'm gonna have you sitting there thinking to yourself, "Hey, maybe I was wrong."
but
So-
maybe you were right.
No, we'll find out.
You're gonna try.
Hey, I do appreciate the call.
I've had a couple of cars that had $20,000 to $40,000 paint jobs on them, and I did not want a brush on them.
Well, now there's exceptions to an automated car wash. Okay, we appreciate the call, and the time clock's on E, and we need to pull over and wash this thing. But as soon as we get back and get it all cleaned up, we'll be back on the road with a second half. But we making a decision on whether to hand wash or automated or run it through the car wash. But either way, we'll get it washed up. We'll be right back with more to C&C Auto Show. And we do welcome you back to the C&C Auto Show. You jump in, buckle up, and hold on. I'm Aaron Clements here with co-host James Pate, and we're both here to share information on ways to keep your car, truck safe, dependable, long-lasting, and clean. we live in
one way or the other.
We are doing this show live at the C&C Auto Show studio, which is located at a fully functioning automotive repair facility, and we're here to answer those automotive questions. But today we're also receiving questions to help answer a question that we have.
That's right. We're soliciting input.
Yes, and we would like to know which is better, the automated car wash or the hand car wash. And James has been working on people trying to convince them.
No. Whoa. Aaron's trying to convince the hand wash advocates of their mistaken ways, and they have not yielded. They have set their face like flint.
Well, I'm going to mention to you one of the reasons that I like an automated car wash, and that is time. It would be very difficult for me to, at the end of a day or end of a Saturday, pull my car in and get the hose out and spray the car down, wash the car, and do all the things that need to be done to make my car look good, when I can just, on the way home, I can pull up, boom, run through there, slap the vacuum cleaner on the floor, look around, and boom, I'm back on the road. And time is critical
Now that's
for me.
now that's a different subject, of course.
Well, it's part of it, though.
It's related.
It's one of the advantages of an automated. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you.
Like there's many parts to a moon launch, but which one are we going to talk about today?
But I'm going to mention to you, if they made an automatic people wash, I would probably, if it was safe, and I feel like the automated.
I'm going to try not to envision that. Too closely.
But if they had, was an idea I had many years ago. I mean, you just get in, walk in, and the brushes clean you all up.
Well, why don't you just lay on the top of your Z3 when it goes through and you're done?
Well, I could leave the top down and just go through there and do both at the same time.
Be a Kodak moment, that's for sure. But the thing is, and I'll grant you that is one of the things. There's we often hear time, talent, and treasure are all parts of all the things that we do. You hear it in your volunteer organizations, your business organizations, your churches. So the hand wash does take some more time, less treasure, and a little bit of talent. You have to acquire some skills. But the automatic car wash, a little more treasure it's going to cost you, but it does take less time, and you don't have to have skills applied. I'll grant you that. Sure.
Well, I'm going to add one thing before we go to the next caller, and both depend on who or where. One person, like a hand wash that you do, I couldn't think of any type of car wash that would be able to do the job that you do. And you're probably very fast at it, but I'm talking about on average, a person. Not everyone knows the correct way. Like, so a person that's using the dirty water and sticking a brush down in it and continuing to wash their car is going to scratch that car more. Well, actually, an automated car wash don't scratch it at all, but they would stand a larger chance of scratching a car than a modern automotive car wash. But a person who is good that knows that, hey, after I get that dirt off the car, then I got to empty that water out and put the other one in. Then they would be able to do a better job at cleaning it and wouldn't as likely get scratches. So it depends on the car wash, it depends on the person.
And it's also, when I say talent, I don't mean that it's a talented thing, but it also means ability. Some folks, remember my father in his later years sees me washing his car for him. He says, I remember when I could get down there like that. Some people can't do it.
Right. So there's big advantages.
But that doesn't mean that it's a better wash.
Let's go to the calls. All right. Let's go over to Carol. Carol, welcome to the C&C Auto Show.
Good morning, Aaron.
Oh, this is Carol Proctor. He calls in. He's our collision repair industry expert. So, I guess we got to find out what side is he going to be on. Now, that's going to be a tricky one. Mm-hmm. I see Jane smiling.
Well, you're grinning. I'm just smiling because this will be telling.
Okay, Carol, we're ready. What can we help with?
All right. Well, when we repair people's cars, I have somebody at the shop that hand washes every car before and after we fix it. And there's a reason we do it before, because we want a set of eyes looking over the car to see if there's any other problems on the car before we fix it. Afterwards, because the paint is fresh, and I wouldn't want a car with a new paint job or repaired work or something going through a car wash, because the paint is not fully cured. But after the paint is fully cured, we actually give a card to every customer going, hey, you can take your car through a Sparkle Express car wash. Just about every customer, we give them a card, because I believe in the car washes. We see cars.
He believes in car washes, and he knows that his customers what?
I believe in the car washes, the automatic car washes. I don't have. They're not right for every single car. If you've got a $150,000 Lamborghini, I probably wouldn't take it through it. But that car is getting hand washed and has a cover on it every day. But the average customer, and I know for myself, I have one of the fast passes, and I stay so busy, from 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning till 6:30 and 7 o'clock at night, like Aaron does at work, that I don't have time to wash a car. Even though I have somebody at the shop that I pay to wash cars every day, I don't have time to have mine washed, so I run through the car wash and get it done. As far as scratches on cars, there's been a misnomer that car washes scratch cars. I can take a rag and a dusting rag on a car, and you can take it across the right car with no wax and no protection on it, and you can scratch a car.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot to do with whether a car can get scratched or not is the care that somebody takes with a car. Cars need to be waxed. Cars, the more frequently they're washed, the better, because a lot of the problems, there's some, and I can't even think of the name of it now, there's a mold or a fungus that actually, if people don't wash their cars, can get on a car and etch itself to the paint. And the reason that fungus can get hold on a car is because cars are not washed frequently enough.
Well, Carol,
if you've ever seen a black car.
Oh yeah, that look that they get when they done it. Yeah, now, Carol, we running out of time real quick, so I want to go ahead and make sure that you like a hand wash and they're good, but you are being in the collision repair industry and sees all type of paint. And I know what your car looks like. It looks very shiny to me. I don't see scratches in yours that you take through the car wash. Now, with all that, you're perfectly fine with the automatic car wash as far as it goes with paint. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Got him.
I don't see a problem.
Okay. All right, Carol, we're going to let you go.
This is like Ghostbusters. I got one.
I got one. All right. Hey, it is time to pull over for just a little bit, but we need your help. James and I, we're trying to decide which is better, hand car wash, automatic car wash. We want you to call in and help us decide. Do that, 800-224-9090. As soon as we return, we'll be going over to someone with a Kia. We'll be right back after this. Are having some fun gaining answers to our questions. We're kind of duking it out here. We're trying to make the decision which one's better, the automatic car wash or the hand car wash. And you can call in, give your opinion, or you can call in and ask an automotive question. Either one's good. All you have to do is dial 800-224-9090, and that's on any Saturday morning, 8:05 to 10. And you can also watch the show live on Facebook, YouTube, or at C&C Auto Show. And we will go over and discuss a Kia Sorento. And welcome to the C&C Auto Show. What can we help you with?
Yes, I have a Kia Sorento, and it's using 2 quarts of oil per 1,000 miles. And I wonder, what do I need to do, or is that normal?
No, definitely not normal, not completely normal, but it could fall under the guidelines of passing. But it is a sign you need to do some things to find out if you can reduce that amount. You say the car has about, 78,000 miles?
Yes.
And what year model is this vehicle?
It's a 2017.
2017? Okay, just for the heck of it, I believe I would, once you've done the things I'm talking about, I don't want to forget to mention this part. They did have some recalls on those vehicles for some oil usage issues. So once these items I'm going to mention to you to check have been checked, you might even ask, has there been any recalls on this vehicle? Either an independent shop, if you have a shop that you go to on a regular basis and trust and feel good about, you can ask them to check for any recalls or bulletins on the car. And if not, you can go to the dealership and they can scan your VIN code and say, yes, this car is covered under a recall or a bulletin type deal, or it's not. Now, one of the first things you want to do is first, do you have, they're going to want to know any kind of history on oil changes. How long have you had the vehicle?
Oh, about a year.
About a year. Okay, so you don't know past history on oil changes. Oil usage can be one of the many things that can cause it. And I'll go as far as say that one of the more common things that causes it is someone not changing their oil on a regular basis. Now, this could have been before you, and would have been before you owned the vehicle. If somebody extended their oil change intervals when they should be doing it at 5,000 and instead we're changing it at 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, would have caused extra wear on the engine and cause it to burn oil. So what you want to do, though, is try to get a baseline point. Now, is your oil due to be changed now, or is it, have you had it changed recently?
I've had it changed recently.
Okay. I would recommend an oil consumption test, and that's basically having the oil changed and someone I'd normally like to take a picture of it, but knowing exactly where that oil is and then checking it about every couple of weeks or about every 500 miles and see if it's going down. Now, if it is, then you want to start doing some things to try to find out. One, check the PCV system. The engine has to breathe. Tell them to make sure that the PCV system is working properly. And then after that, you want to make sure the car is not due for any kind of maintenance tune-up, anything like that. Go ahead and make sure that a good brand of oil is being used. Now, if you do all that and you've done everything that you can do and you've checked and it's not covered under any kind of warranty from the dealership, then I can tell you, you can buy a lot of oil before you can fix that problem. So it's just something that after you've done all that you could do on those items, then the biggest thing you can do from then on out through the rest of the life of the vehicle, make sure that engine is changed with really good brand oil and that it's done not I would probably even do it a little early all after that, maybe 4,000 miles, and use a full synthetic oil from now on. And doing those, you can still get a lot of useful life out of that engine. Yeah. Anything you want to add, James?
I have a family member that had a similar condition. I can't remember what the fix was, but they had to have, I think they had some crankcase ventilation, PCV issues, but there was also a top engine cleaning that was done due to some of the things Aaron was mentioning before, I think tied to improper oil changes before they had the car. And that was no engine disassembly, as I recall. This is a few years ago, but that solved the oil consumption problem, which is good news. We didn't have a mechanical failure that required the engine to come apart, but there was the top part of the engine.
Excellent point on there. A BG induction clean would be a very good something to do. BG products, professional shops use BG products. So I would take it in, and also as you're doing that, it's good to get it anyway. It kind of cleans the carbon out of the engine. But also you want to do something to free up the rings to where they'll clean better as the piston goes down. It wipes the cylinder clean of oil before it goes back up. So, yeah, excellent point, James.
I think that type of product, again, you use it here. You've mentioned it many times, does lots of good things. And I think in this case, that's what solved their problem a couple years ago in our family.
Yeah. Okay. We hope that helps.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Hey, we thank you for the call. Very nice of you. Okay, the number to call is 800-224-9090. If you have a question, we have several callers that we're going to be going to, but we have less than about a 30, 40 seconds. So we won't go to the caller yet, but we will mention that one of the things that we're doing is we're trying to determine which one is better, the automated car wash or the hand car wash. And James, one thing I'll still throw out there, and I know that this is something that is not completely tied in, but time. The automatic car wash, more people are able to use that. And
depending.
The number thing I want to stress is some people are concerned that the brushes cause scratches. Well, I can I can say that modern car washes. Now, this is not a little rinky-dink car wash or car wash that don't have the new technology. Modern car washes, I feel very safe.
He's going to run the clock out on me.
Driving. Okay, go ahead.
Well, time's up. See you when you get back.
We'll be right back after this. I did it. With the C&C Auto Show, we're ready for your calls, and we want you to answer our car question, and we want to answer your car questions. Yours, we don't know yet. We have to wait for you to call and ask it. But ours, what we're looking for, we want to know which one's better, the automated car wash or the hand car wash. So you give us a call and you join in, and you can do that by dialing 800-224-9090. You can also watch us live on Facebook, YouTube, or at the C&C Auto Show. And we will, I do want to mention this. I got an email, and on the email, it was from Jeremy, and he wrote in with a terrible problem. He took his 98 Ford F-150 Ford truck to a repair shop, and when they put it on the lift rack, the truck broke in half. This car had been in a climate to where a lot of rust was around, and the truck, they told him that all they did was put it on the rack, and the truck broke in half. It was rusted out. Jeremy was asking, do we think that the shop should be responsible for his truck breaking in half? And I would say no. I don't think so. They're not really responsible because to work on the truck, they had to put it on the lift rack.
Half the truck was gone before he pulled in.
It was deteriorated. The rust had done eat it up. So it was something that it just happened because the truck was rusted out, and they happened to be the one that put it on the rack. So I would say that no. Now, I would tell Jeremy, or I did tell Jeremy, that he could have prevented it himself if he'd have used the NHOU oil undercoating. That's New Hampshire oil undercoating. If he'd have had that sprayed down years ago, because in his message he said he'd had the truck for a long time, and it ran great, by the way. The engine, transmission, rear end was all good. But if he'd had it sprayed down years ago and all that rust wouldn't have got to that point, it never would have destroyed his truck. And the truck may have been going for years and years. So when he gets his next truck, I recommend that if he's in that same climate, I would recommend going in and putting some NHOU oil undercoating under the car so he don't go through the same thing all over again one day. Okay, you ready to go to the calls?
Line them up.
Why don't we go over here to, let's see what we got. Not sure who this is, but we're going to answer it. Welcome to the C&C Auto Show. What can we help you with?
Hello?
Yes, sir. What can we help you with today?
I'd just like to throw my 2 cents in about the car wash.
Oh, I hope you're on my side.
I really like the auto car wash because of the time. But a few years ago, I have a F-150 2010, and I bought it from someone who was kind of obsessed with keeping it clean. Ran through a car wash a lot with it. And I went through a car wash on Bel Air Road, at the opposite end of Bel Air Road from the Sparkle.
Uh-huh.
And I got home and looked up and noticed that the top tail light, in the middle of the cab was gone.
Uh-huh.
The plastic lens.
Yeah.
And so I figured, well, the car wash must have took it off. And so I finally got me a new lens, put it on there, and I went through the car wash again about 6 months later, and got home and parked the truck and walked around the truck, and lo and behold, the Ford emblem on the front of the grill was gone.
Uh-huh.
So I can only assume that, I don't know if the truck had been through the car wash too many times and had weakened the plastic on those things a little bit or not. But I'm a little bit distrustful of them. I do use them because I don't have the time to go out there and just hand scrub it like I did 30 years ago. But
yeah.
Anyway, it's just an experience
things like
you have
that,
to watch out for. And I know they had those.
It's possible for things to come up. But I will tell you with the newer type brushes, neoprene type brushes, and it only able to put 10 psi of pressure against it. Now again, this is the modern car washes, and with the special brushes, and not to mention all the benefits of the water. Here's another thing a lot of people don't think about: the water that people use have at many houses have have minerals in them that can not only stain the paint but can mess up the paint and ruin the paint. And so,
only if you don't dry your car.
yeah, well, you dry your car, but you still, to a degree, you may have areas that you may not necessarily dry it completely down. I mean, most people have little areas that let the water dry on it. Now, of course, I'm going to go ahead and mention on the car wash, because this is environmental also. Do you realize that most car washes use less water, in roughly about 50 gallons per car? A car goes through, it's 50. Yeah, but that is actually less than the average person that's washing a car at home. But here's another
I'm
good.
gonna have to measure that.
But here's
somehow.
a part of it, though. Now, as it goes through the car wash, that water goes down and it's reclaimed. It's filtered almost better than some cities' drinking water, and then it's chemically treated with things to keep water spots out of it. So not only do you get rid of the minerals, but the water's extra clean and the chemicals go through it. So you got almost like spraying special water in there to keep the car clean. So in some cases, you could do more damage washing a car in some areas, depending on where you get your water from, if it's well water especially, than if you were to have it done.
But all things being equal, you have poor water at some car washes, I'm sure. You have poor technology at some car washes. You have hand-washing individuals who have different levels of time or ability and so forth. So,
and water.
But truly, well, the water, if you wash your car and you dry your car, the water's fine. Yeah. I take my water out of the ground. It's well water. No water stains, no water spots.
And see, these waters, even though it's taken 50 gallons to wash it, it's recycled through there with all these special filters. Let's go to the next call?
Let's do it.
I think he's nervous.
Thanks for the information.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's hard to measure this one. He goes to the automatic car wash because he doesn't have the time, but he's not a real fan. So
okay,
that's a wash, I think.
Now with that, I would, as far as on the emblems and things like that's going to happen at certain times, and but the car wash itself, it's only a modern car wash is only putting 10 psi pressure on the car. So I would say that there may be special instances where things have come up, but I don't run into any problems myself.
And special instances happen in a hand wash.
So
So
we're gonna have to put you down that you're pro hand wash. Is that correct?
Well, I'd say go ahead and put me pro car wash, because I just don't take the time to do it by hand anymore.
Thank you.
Although I do have a truck that I keep outside, and I neglected washing it, and I did wash it finally this year and put some hand wax on it. It did clean it up pretty good.
Yeah. Now, if you got a car that's been sitting up,
comes down to it.
I agree with everything. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule. If I had a Lamborghini, I would not be running it through an automatic car wash.
Why not?
Or if I had a classic, well, mainly because you got to keep your image if you're driving a Lambo. A Lambo, you're kind of losing your image or losing the look and the feel to it.
So you would take the secondary and the subservient hand wash for your Lamborghini,
no,
just for your image?
I would pick up the phone. I'd say, "Come pick up my Lambo because I need a wash," and they'd come get it. Or I'd let my assistant. Of course, people that have Lambos don't need to go to a car wash. They have
pretty good back pedal going on.
They have their people do that. Now, see, myself, I either have to wash my own car or take my car to the car wash, and so.
And the manual wash is good exercise. You're outside. It's stress relieving for someone like you.
Yeah, but I
got going on.
didn't have all my exercise all during the day for about 12 hours.
Yeah, but this is
of
stress
working
reliever.
in the shop.
I think you need it.
Hey, we appreciate you calling. Thank you.
You're a good sport.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, the number to call, 800-224-9090. I got that one, didn't I?
You got a definite maybe on that one. He just finished telling you the last thing he did was wash and wax his truck.
Well, I mean, if you got a car that's been sitting outside, you're not going.
I love the automatic car wash, but every time I get it done, I have to go to the parts store. I don't know if that's a sound endorsement.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got this great big bucket of paint been poured on a car, you're not going to be able to run it through an automatic car wash and it get the paint that you spilled on it. I guess what I'm saying is there's some degrees of a car needing a wash that a automatic car wash, and even with that, an average person might not be able to clean. So we're going to have to research this more. Let's. I tell you what.
That was a word salad. You could be vice president.
When we get back, we'll go to Ricky. All right, we'll be back after these messages. And we do welcome you back to the C&C Auto Show. We are discussing automated car washes versus hand car wash. I kind of lean on the side. I think automated car washes are wonderful for me because I like to keep my car clean, but also I don't have the time to get out and clean the car myself
and do it the right way.
And but I'll go ahead and I will admit that I have never seen cars look better than after James does one. He makes them look good. But the fact is, not everybody has that expertise, time, and and as a matter of fact, I just about bet if he had like 10 a day, it would be very tricky to do that many. So I think because of that, I've always liked automated car washes, but I did have some concerns many years ago because they were using brushes that were spinning that could do damage. They had to average out the pressure that you needed to apply to get the dirt off. They didn't compensate for different things like trailer hitches and the way the mirrors were. Now with all that, they're using brushes that's made out of neoprene that there's no grime or dirt that sticks with them. Those little rollers or brushes are washed after every car. And the dirt does fall off of them. The water is chemically treated to keep from spots. It's cleaned. It's recycled through the machine. Of course, their fresh water has to go into it and refill it after time. But it goes through there. There's just so many benefits to automated car wash till I love them.
Except that the hand wash is a better result. Hands down, get it? Pun intended?
In some cases, yeah. And just like automated car wash, not every automated car wash does the things I'm talking about. Like there's some little rinky-dink car washes you drive through that I don't go through because they could do damage. But a good modern automated car wash, I would say, has a huge number of advantages.
You show me the automatic car wash. It goes around those door and trunk jams. I'll be
But you have
surprised when I
to
see
add
that.
time into the equation. Time has to go into it. All right, you ready for the call? He's quiet now. Ooh.
It's in deference to the caller.
I think he's stunned.
Not like
Okay, here we go.
The next time will be the first.
All right, we're going over to Ricky. Ricky, welcome to the C&C Auto Show, and what can we help you with?
Hey, thanks for having me. Well,
Thank you.
I'm on your side, Aaron, and I like the drive-through washes. And one particular advantage is the one I use, which is quite modern, probably the newest one in town. One fee, and you go as many times as you want in a month's time. So there's a cost factor there. However, that being said, I was going through there about 6 weeks ago, 2 months. I heard a clunk. The thing shut down. My car jolted. And $7,000 later, I'm at the body shop, which they paid, and they were gracious with it. There was no hassle. And I've been back through 15 or 20 times since then.
Wow.
The time expense, it's $7,000, yeah.
A little tough to score this one. It's great, except for when I was without my car for a month.
No, I'm back. I'm going right back through there, and I pay them $29 a month, and I go through 5-6 times a month.
Uh-huh. So in effect, what happened? Something went wrong, and it caused some damage.
Yeah, actually, yeah, it did. Something went wrong with the line, and it's quite automated. And one brush that was supposed to quit didn't after the line shut down, which knocked my car off the track a little bit, gouged the hood, the front grille and bumper. You know, the front end of a car is expensive when you have any damage there with all those lights and things like that.
Uh-huh.
But they showed me the damage. I didn't even really see it at first, but they showed it to me. He took pictures, told me to get 2 estimates. I brought them to him within a week. Their insurance agency called out of Atlanta, and you were talking about the cameras. He says, "Well, Mr. Ricky, you're right. It wasn't your fault." He said, "I watched it on the camera, and it just jolted your car. So I'll be sending you a check here next week." And they actually paid me diminished value on the car, since after the paint work, it'd be worth a little less money,
Wow. Well, I guess what happened to you was something that could happen not only in that shop, it could happen in a parking lot. Somebody could actually back into you. You could have your car having your car worked on.
It wouldn't have happened in the driveway.
And somebody would, in some ways, I mean, I have seen accidents in driveways. I mean, accidents happen in a driveway. It can. So how you want, Ricky? How you want us to write this one up? You're pro automated car wash still, right?
I'm still the automated car wash. I like it.
All right,
okay.
All right, we'll leave that one because yours is a very difficult one if we was to try to score.
Yeah,
but I agree with you. I feel absolutely fine. Anything that you get, I mean, you're gonna have. You stand a chance on having an issue with anything. Unfortunately, a space shuttle can have an issue. I mean, and that's a terrible thing.
That's why we don't go on the shuttle.
But sometimes things happen.
We're not going to the bottom of the ocean in a tin can either.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you want something that's proven. There's very few of those out there, but automatic car washes are all around the country. And they have been, I feel like, not perfection, but I feel like they're better than they've ever been because of technology, just like so many other things, the way the cars are built today. And I feel like a lot of car washes right now get kind of a bad rap because nobody's taking into account the modern technology that has been used on these car washes that make it to where in some cases they're more environmentally friendly, they're faster, and they do a great job. But they're not for every car, not for every person. But I think they're.
Okay, we need a tiebreaker.
All right, let's go to the next one.
3-3.
Hey, Ricky, thank you. We appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Ricky.
Okay, we're gonna have to do this one fast. Let me see. Try to end. Okay, let's go over to Elizabeth. Try again.
Hello?
Hey, Elizabeth.
You're in there.
We're with the C&C Auto Show, and I think you're going to end up being the tiebreaker on which one. So how about it, Elizabeth? Can you help me out here?
Well, I thought long and hard about it. I'm glad I'm one of the last people to call in because I've thought about a lot of things. Better is a pretty loose qualifier. Is it better for the car, better for the person, better for the environment? All things considered, I came down, look at the picture you had up there a little bit ago with that boy with the cap on who was washing the car there and that picture behind you.
Yeah.
Think of all those family memories you get washing the car as family when you're little. I think a hand wash is much better. You're out there, you're slowing down, taking time to wash your car. I find when I hand wash my car, I take better care of it when I'm driving it. I feel better when I've washed it myself. And I think of all those memories of us washing the big station wagon when we were little. I think the hand wash has got
So, Elizabeth, you're throwing in the human factor.
Well,
now,
of course.
see, I was trying to offset that, though. When I first seen it, you're from Denver. And I knew, though, that if I was to toss in the environmental side of it, And I mean, with the environmental, the using less water and chemicals that are not stored around the house, that's big, Elizabeth.
But you're using, but the car wash is using chemicals. I think when I wash my car, I don't let the water just run. But think about
but that chemical you're spraying on the tire, that chemical that you're spraying on the tire is just running down the sidewalk.
Doing the backflips here, Elizabeth.
Hey, Elizabeth, we're out of time. Hey, we appreciate it.
All right.
And I think you were the tiebreaker, and thank you.
Thank you.
We're all out of time. It slipped up on me. We enjoyed being here. Lots of fun. Who won real quick, James?
Hand wash, of course.
Oh, wow. I was close, though.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to do this again one day. Hey, we'll see you next week. More to C&C Auto Show.